Big Cat TV, Pastor Andy with you along with Big Cat. And this one is, we listened to just a little bit of this one. So we're going to do a reaction video to Propaganda.
Yep.
And it's called Forgive Me for Asking. So see what we got here.
Question, this is embarrassing. You ever been scared you had no idea what you were talking about? Yeah, me too. Honestly perplexed. I've lied, and so have you, Christians. Lying. Like you never had questions. Like you never had a moment when your inner dialogues were all of a sudden in third person. Like, are you really buying this? You're lying. Like your eyes are 100% always satisfied by your spouse, and you don't need accountability, neither of which is biblical, by the way. Your eyes are never satisfied. Us overgrown primates with egos and lying. You quote the devil when you declare yourself okay. You get it, but you don't get it. Like you've never planted your Chuck Taylors firmly in the sinking sand. You're lying. We for centuries sing hymns of grace, and this is why it's amazing. And if it's not, you don't understand, or you're lying, which is why your friends don't believe you. There is just as much Jesus' blood on your hand as there is his. You sure you understand the cross? Forgive me for asking. Forgive me for asking. Muslims, excuse my boldness, but what if you're lying too? Like you don't ever have questions? As if you've never wondered why Allah's ears only hear directionally, and if you accidentally pointed slightly northeasterly, then you've blasphemed. As if the thought has never crossed your mind that the jihadists interpret the Quran correctly, and you are what we Christians would call lukewarm, which makes you much more like my evangelifish churchianity would allow me to admit. And you can call me on it, I'll deny it, just don't believe me, because I'm lying. I strain at gnats, I focus on silliness. I act like God has joined a political party just like you. As if you've never thought, what if I was paralyzed and I can't make my pilgrimage to Mecca, yet I follow the text better than my whole family. Is there enough mercy for me? Forgive me for asking. Forgive me for asking. I know it's wrong for me to front like I understand your theology as well as I think I understand mine, but I know we can agree on this. Something is deathly wrong with us, and you smarty pants don't front. Like the little you know about our universe, you ready to draw conclusions about its origins. Maybe we don't know as much as we think we do. Science still can't explain yawning. Like you never took your worldview to its furthest conclusions, that if human behavior is just what protoplasm does at this temperature, then there was no need for humanitarian effort, because these atrocities weren't wrong, it's just the universe weeding out bad genes. Them is fingernails on chalkboard words, ain't 'em? You're lying. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe you're right. Maybe we'll find out the day after the world ends. Yeah, I guess we're all a little inconsistent. Maybe we can just show each other some grace. Forgive me for asking. Forgive me for asking. Forgive me for asking. You ever bury yourself in self-righteous guilt? Me too. Are there fresh tally marks on the walls of your brain's prison, hoping that the count of good deeds outnumber the bad ones? Are your miserable failures your badges of honor? And when you count those tallies, and the day the good outnumber the bad, pat yourself on the back, you have joined the rest of humanity. You too are lying. Like you never thought someone might catch me in my contradiction. Yeah, me too. You ever think to yourself, I have no idea what I'm talking about? Yeah, me too. Forgive me for asking. Forgive me for asking.
So yeah, it's very cool. I appreciate the genre because it's kind of in between rap and spoken word, and I thought like this would make like a really good essay if you were just to write an essay,
Mm-hmm.
but it's putting it in this musical context really adds a lot to it, and it's just really a lot of thought provoking topics.
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
makes you think.
I mean, the biggest hit Christians are ever going to take is, why don't you live better? Why don't you live better if you really believe that? And that's a legitimate, criticism of Christianity, because it's easy to just kind of go in cruise control
Yeah.
in Christianity, like, and forget that it's about following Christ every moment of every day with every thought. It's like, what? Like every thought? Well, the Apostle Paul says we take captive every thought and make it obedient to Christ. Are we even close to that? It's like every time you think a thought about putting yourself first, like that's the wrong thought according to Christianity. He who's greatest among you must be the servant of all. So we got a lot of, Christians, those of you that are Christians out there, we got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do, right?
Mhm.
But there's like this well of refreshing constantly that's called grace. That's like, even though we have a lot of work to do, we're clean. It's like, so we're in this process and we're continually cleansed, and the blood of Jesus, cleanses us from all unrighteousness. And it's an amazing place to be. And, talking a little bit about people that follow other religions like he does, it's like to not have that with your religion and to think that you may or may not be in a place of forgiveness. Oh man, that's heavy. That's heavy. And then of course the atheistic worldview is like, okay, well, I can't get to the point where I can take that as seriously as I used to, because there's too many unanswered questions. Like, at least with following Christ, it's like either he's real or he's not real. But with the atheistic worldview, it's like, well, it comes back to the thing, like, how are we even thinking? Why doesn't it even matter what we think? How are we supposed to live if it doesn't matter how we think, if we're just a pile of genes, all that stuff, right? It's like, what do you even do with that?
Yeah.
I mean,
He kind of talks about that too.
yeah, he does, because Paul says, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. And it's like, yeah, I don't see any other solution to that. Like, what's the point of suffering if it's just genes that are suffering? Like, it doesn't even compute, and it certainly doesn't feel like it's just genes or atoms or whatever. So yeah, it definitely feels like it's something more valuable. So I would be interested to know what you guys think about this song, and if it helps you, if it kind of like what age of people is this like really connecting with? This seems like a early college experience, like just kind of reflecting on the world. And yeah, of course you're going to get that third person voice all the time. Like, who do you think you are? Like, you really believe this stuff? It's good to question, like, where's that voice coming from? Is that me?
So it's funny you said the college thing. So I won tickets to go see him and another speaker or singer, Andy Mineo or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not that far out of college, but I definitely feel like I was like chaperone. So
Yeah. Yeah, when you start to see college people and you're like, oh, they look really young. It's like, oh, no, you're just getting old, man.
yeah.
All right. Love you guys. We'll see you soon.